Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a video showing you my DIY at home individual eyelash extension tutorial. I will be using the Beyelian Beauty Super Matte Flat Lashes. You can find these on Amazon. I will also be using the Ardell Professional Lashtite for individual lashes dark adhesive. I will insert the link for that in the description bar, as well as the Ardell Professional Lash-Free Eyelash Adhesive Remover. If you're interested in finding out how to get this look or a look quite similar, please stay tuned. So I hate when people babble in tutorials, so I'm just gonna jump right in. So what I do is I turn my lashes upside down to where you can read 17 mm, 17 mm, or whatever size it is that you get. I just find that it's easier to pick the lashes up when you're holding the container in this position. It does come with the cover. I break mine off, that way I could put the glue on the other side and not have to worry about it getting into this. Or I place the glue here, it depends on how I'm feeling that day. So in regards to picking the lashes up, I use my fine mouth tweezer and I pick up, I want to say about 3 or 4 at a time. It depends on what you're comfortable with, and I just pull it off. So then you're gonna look like this. I do mine in clusters, but they're thin enough clusters to where they won't look bulky, or they will still look like individuals as you're doing them. This not only allows you to do your lashes quicker, but I just find that it's more effective to do it this way, and for me they come out fuller. Whenever I dish the glue out, I put very small dollops of glue because the glue doesn't dry quickly, but you don't want to waste glue. And the whole point of this tutorial is to help you save. So I just put a little dollop of glue out, and I'm going to show you when I'm done. I squeeze it out like this. And this is how much glue I use until that starts to dry up, and then I'll go ahead and pour out some more. Then I take my cluster of lashes and I'm gonna dip the end of the lash in the glue. And you don't want to pick up too much glue, just a little bit. Like, you just want to saturate the end, but you shouldn't be able to see the glue, like a blob of glue on the lashes, just a little bit. I start with the corners of the eye, and I'm just gonna go ahead. I pick up my lid with my finger, and then you just attach the lash. I go underneath. Not only does that make it non-detectable from the top, but it also, to me, allows them to adhere easier and to last longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up another cluster of 3 or 4. If you get more than 3, it's perfectly fine. And I'm gonna go ahead and again apply underneath the lash. And you do it right next to the ones that you've already done. Just like that. See? So I already have corner lashes. And then so again, one more time, you have your glue here. I've already picked up the lashes in this direction. Then I turn this upside down and dip it. This hand is still in the same direction that I picked it up in. So you keep this hand steady. Now I'm dipping it in the glue. You can wipe off excess if you want. Like, I've been wiping off excess from the back on the edges of the container. And then I pick up my lid and I place this little cluster underneath. You're not putting it on your waterline, you're putting it on your lashes, but underneath. Some people go above, some people go between. I do it underneath. I also find that when I do it underneath, I don't rip my eyelashes out. Or sometimes I do tend to pick them. I'm lazy. I might not want to use the Ardell individual lash remover. I will sit there and pick them out. I have a horrible habit of doing that. I have not damaged my lashes. I still have lashes. They're full and healthy. They're covered in foundation right now, but I've been wearing extensions for how long? And my lashes are still full. So what works for me is to put them underneath. It's also easier to remove them that way. I just take a cotton swab, put it inside, saturate it with the remover, and then you just lightly rub underneath and they will come out in a few seconds. Simple and non-damaging. So again, I'm going to continue this process till I'm filled. What you can do also, you can use different size lashes. You don't have to get 17. They come in a number of different sizes. You can start with the longer length. Some people put shorter, then longer, then shorter, then longer, and it gives you like a nice flow. Like there's so many different ways you can do it. It depends on your preference for your lashes. If I'm going on vacation or something, 100%. I might pay for them to get done professionally, or if I have a big event. But just for everyday life, why am I spending so much to just, I'm not a supermodel. Like, this works for me. You can never tell me that these weren't done professionally, because people ask me all the time, like, who's your lash tech? Oh my God, where do you get your lashes done? And when I tell them I do them myself, their first reaction is, can you do mine? And I'm like, ma'am, you're gonna trust me, a whole stranger, with glue near your eyelids? Like, I like my vision. I will never jeopardize that. I'm not about to have a stranger do my lashes just because I like hers. That's insane. Freaking insane. Yeah, I'm just picking up more. And I'm going to continue. And if you want, you can use an eyelash spoolie in between to just feather them out. Sometimes I go with the tweezers if I really want them to be full. After I've placed them, like I'll do a couple of clusters, and then I will take the tweezers and just separate them if I want them to be fuller. Just go through and separate the clusters because the glue is drying now. And you see how it just opens them up a little bit more? I love that. You can already tell like a little bit of a difference. Just gonna continue in the same pattern. Sometimes they shift, and the great thing about this is they're not dry yet. So if they do shift a little bit, take the time to fix them. Because when they're dry, there's really nothing you can do besides remove them, and that's gonna be really annoying. But sometimes one or two do move, and it's perfectly okay. Just for a time check, I started this at 5 o'clock. It's 5:11. And we're almost halfway done with one eye, which is why I choose to do it in clumps of 3. I used to get clusters because Ardell sells clusters at the beauty supply store. However, I feel like those are more noticeable, and when you're trying to be cute and one of your little lashes falls out, when you use these, it's like not really noticeable. When you use the actual clusters and a whole chunk of lash falls out, especially like when you're, I don't know, like with your significant other or like in a professional setting, I think that that's really ghetto. So I've stopped using those. They're also a little stiff, but I do recommend starting with those just to give it like a try, especially now that you're home. Those are actually cheaper than these. I would start out with those just so you can get familiar with it. I'm not a lash tech. This is what works for me. And again, I'm just continuing the same pattern as close as I can get to the last cluster. And I like to open them up a little bit. Can even take a little eyebrow spoolie. I can't find mine, so I'm using an eyebrow pencil spoolie. And that works for me. And I just love this little look. As you can see, it makes a world of difference. Like, I just love lashes so much. I feel like your face is not complete unless you have lashes on. And if you see gaps, you can fill them in. Like, that's perfectly fine to go back and fill in spaces that you see after the fact. I'm getting lazier and lazier, and I'm picking up bigger and bigger clumps. And that just comes through practice. So I've gotten, I want to say, halfway through, and my glue is starting to dry up, so I'm just going to go ahead and put another dollop the same size. I've had this glue for about a full year now, maybe a little more than a year, so it does last a long time. And these batch of lashes I've had for 4 months, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 5 rows left. So they do last a good while. And I want to say my lashes start to fall out after about 3 weeks. I would need to start filling them in. Just a couple start to move. I sleep on my back. I try not to really touch them at all. When I wash my face, again, I try not to be too rough with that area. But this glue is really good glue. Whenever you dip your lashes in glue, you want to make sure that you're not putting too much glue on. I think people make that mistake, and then you get like these thick globs of glue on your eyelashes. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background. Someone in my neighborhood is building a beaver dam or something, because what is that? And why is it so loud? I thought it was ATVs, but it's definitely not. It's too consistent of a sound. Look at how beautiful we're coming along. I want to try an eyelash curler after doing these and see what happens. Sometimes you pick clumps up and they fall right out of the tweezers. You have to grasp your tweezer so tight to make sure you don't drop the clump after you form them. I must have dropped like 100 by now. It's the lashes for me, honey. Bald Eye who? I don't know her. Oh my god. Sometimes I struggle to pick clumps up. I see a spot that I could fill with the cluster, so I'm gonna go fill it in. And that does happen. I do get lazy and skip over sections. There we go. Bald no more. It's 5:27. We started at 5, and this is how many I've gotten done so far. Sometimes I turn them to be in the direction that I want. So now that I'm getting in the innermost corner of my eye, I like to kind of manipulate them after I've already placed them. Just to turn them in the direction that I want them to face. So it is now 5:38, and this is one whole eye done. These are my go-to. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start from the outermost corner and work my way inwards. Bloop, so simple. And you see what I mean by, like, I picked up a lot of glue here. You could see a big bubble. Never mind the glue on my finger, but you see that big bubble of glue? There's no reason why that should look like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off some of the excess just on the edge of this. So my left one is coming along nicely. I went ahead and went through that one off camera just because it's easier for me to do it that way. It's now 6:10, and look how quickly I got through this one. So already 6:10. literally the same thing that I did with the other eye. Just going through with the clusters. Again, this is what it looks like. You just pick it up like this, pop it in the glue, and then put it under. Getting them into the innermost corner is a little bit more difficult for me, so I just try to like angle the lash in the tweezer. My hand is holding this horizontally, perfectly horizontally. I angle the lash. See, it's super angled. The lash itself is super angled. And then it allows you to just pop it in there so easy. Just like that. Perfect. So that concludes my tutorial. If you guys found this to be helpful, please like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Witchy Low on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, TikTok also. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful, and thank you guys so much for watching.